This is class 10 CBSE Economics Chapter 1 Development Part 4 Public Facilities. In previous video we learned through the compare with the three states, that is Haryana, Kerala and Bihar, on the basis of per capita income and other criteria like infant mortality rate, literacy rate, net attendance ratio. So in that, according to the per capita income, Haryana is considered as the highest income holder than the other two states, that is Kerala and Bihar. But in other criteria like IMR, that is infant mortality rate, literacy rate and net attendance ratio, Kerala comes under the first, that means developed, than the other two states. Here, how is it that the average person in Haryana has more income than the average person in Kerala, but lags behind in these crucial areas? So according to that data, Haryana has more income than the Kerala, but it lags behind in these crucial areas. Crucial areas are infant mortality rate, literacy rate and net attendance ratio. In these crucial areas, Haryana was behind the Kerala. So Kerala is developed here according to the crucial areas, but in per capita income, Haryana is the developed one. But in crucial areas, Haryana lags behind the Kerala. Why it happens? The reason is money in your pocket cannot buy all the goods and services that you may need to live well. So money alone is not buy all the goods and services to live a better life. So income by itself is not a completely adequate indicator of material goods and services that citizens are able to use. So money alone is not an adequate indicator. So apart from other crucial areas also is there to live a better life. For example, normally your money cannot buy you a pollution-free environment. That means good environment, the money cannot buy that one, or ensure that you get unadulterated medicines without any duplicate medicines. So money it's not ensure you will surely will get the good medicines only, unless you can afford to shift to a community that already has all these things. So if you want to afford this pollution free environment or unadulterated medicines, if you want to get, so you have to shift to other area, other community area, so already has all these things. Money may also not be able to protect you from infectious diseases. So money also is not protect you from infectious diseases unless the whole of your community takes preventive steps. Here community means that particular area's people. So that one is here mentioned here as a community. So the money is not able to protect from the infectious diseases, but we have to take the preventive steps. Actually, for many of the important things in life, the best way, also the cheapest way, is to provide these goods and services collectively. So for example here, just think, will it be cheaper to have collective security for the whole locality, or for each house to have its own security man? So think that you are living in a area, one community. If you want to afford a security, you want to appoint a security, so if you collectively the whole community will appoint that security, it is the cheaper one, or each house have its own security, that is the cheapest one. So obviously the whole community collectively to secure the whole locality, that is the cheapest one and also the best one. What if no one other than you in your village or locality is interested in studying? Would you be able to study? No, not unless your parents could afford to send you to some private school elsewhere. Just think that in that one village, in your village or locality, except you, other students are not interested in studying. Would you able to study? No, because they are not giving any importance for their education. Construct the individual school for you to study, or unless your parents could afford to send you or any private schools or some other else. So you are actually able to study because many other children also want to study, and because many people believe that the government should open schools and provide other facilities so that all children have a chance to study. So actually if you are able to study in way, if all the children are wants to study, so in that area people also wants or believe that the government should open schools as well as the other facilities, then only all the children of that village or particular locality should have the chance to study. Even now in many areas, children, particularly girls, are not able to go to high school because the government or society has not provided adequate facilities. Kerala has a low infant mortality rate because it has adequate provision of basic health and educational facilities. Why the Kerala is developed in that crucial areas like infant mortality rate, literacy rate and net attendance ratio because than the Haryana and Bihar, because of the state itself given adequate provision in that basic health and the educational facilities. Similarly, in some states the public distribution system, that is PDS, functions well. Health and nutritional status of health of such states is certainly likely to be better. Here one activity is given, activity 2. We'll solve this. Study table 1.5 carefully and fill in the blanks in the following paragraphs. For this you may need to make calculations based on the table. Educational achievement of rural population of Uttar Pradesh. So literacy rate for rural population, that is male 76%, female 54%. Literacy rate for rural children in age group 10 to 14 years, male 90%, female 87%. Percentage of rural children aged 10 to 14 years attending school, male 85%, female 82%. We'll solve these questions. First one, the literacy rate for all age groups including young and old is dash for rural males. So rural males is 76%, here 76%. Then and dash for rural females, that is 54% here. However, it is not just that these many adults could not attend school, but that there are dash who are currently not in school. So who are currently not in school. So percentage rural children aged 10 to 14 years attending school, we have to take it. So here male 85%, female 82%, they are attending in school. But the question is currently not in school. So those who are not attending the school. So for this, to find out the percentage, first 100% from 100 we have to subtract 85. So we'll get the 15%. So 15% here comes male. 15% are males. Next one is female. Same thing, 100 minus 82. So we are getting 18%. So 18% females. 18% females here. Then next one. It is clear from the table that -% of rural girls and -% of rural boys are not attending schools. So we already calculated here. Here rural girls given, so rural girls are 18% are not attending. Then rural boys are 15% are not attending the school. Next one is therefore illiteracy among children in the age group 10 to 14 is as high as dash for rural females and %% for rural males. Here we have to calculate the illiteracy among children. Here they given the literacy rate here, that is 90% of male, 87% of female. So here we have to find out the illiteracy among the children in the age group of 10 to 14 years. First one, they ask the rural females. So we have to calculate from that 100% subtract, that is minus. From that female means 87%. So we are getting 13%. So here we have to found that 13% of rural females and -% of males means male is here 90%. So 100% subtract, that is minus 90%. So we are getting that 10%. So 10% males are illiterate among the children. Last question. This high level of illiteracy among dash age group. So they given here one age group, that is 10 to 14 years. 14 years age group. Next one is activity 3 is there. So this is one way to find out if we are properly nourished or not, is to calculate with nutrition scientist, that is called body mass index, that is BMI. BMI means body mass index. This is easy to calculate. Let each student in the class find out his or her weight and height. So they have to find out their weight as well as their height. Take the weight of each student in kilograms, that is kg. Then make the height by drawing up a scale on the wall and measuring accurately with the head straight. Convert the height recorded in centimeters into meters. If you recorded that height into the centimeters, you have to convert into meters. Divide the weight in kg by the square of the height. The number you get is called BMI. So body mass index. Then look at the body mass index for age table given on pages 90 and 91 in your last page of this book. Okay, so how they are calculating means weight in kg, that is divided by height in the meters, height squared in the meters. The answer is BMI. So according to that we have to check the table whether we are nourished or undernourished. If we get less than, that means less than 18.5, that means we are undernourished. If we get more than 25 and more than 25, it's considered as a overweight or obesity. We have to check the table that is in that last page of this book, that is page number 90 and 91. They are given the table, so you have to check it out. Even I too given in this video. This is body mass index for adolescent girls. Then this is body mass index for adolescent boys. A student's BMI could be within the normal range or less than that underweight or more obesity. For example, if a girl student is 14 years and a 8-month-old and the BMI is 15.2, then she is undernourished, because 14 years 0.8 months girl, her BMI body mass index is just 15.2. that means considered as a undernourished. I already said 18.5, under that is undernourished. Similarly, if the BMI of the boy aged 15 years and 6 months is 28, that is more than the 25, then he is overweight. Discuss the life situation, food and exercise habits of students in general without body shaming anyone. Here another topic, that one is Human Development Report. In previous video we learned about the World Development Report, that is based on the comparing the countries in the basis of the income, that is in the basis of the per capita income. Here Human Development Report is considered as that development of the overall. Basically they taken the 3 criteria. One is per capita income, then education and health status. These are the 3 important areas they taken into their measure account. I am repeating that one: per capita income, educational level and health status. Once it is realized that even though the level of income is important, yet it is an inadequate measure of the level of development. If we take an income is the important criteria, even though it is inadequate measure of the level of development. So we begin to think of other criterion. There could be a long list of such criterion, but then it would not be so useful. What we need is a small number of the most important things. So among that is, in that big list we have to taken the which is most important thing, that alone we taken that one. That is health and education indicators. This is important. Health and education indicators such as the ones we used in comparison of Kerala and Haryana. That's what we taken that criteria, health and education. So according to health and education, Kerala is considered as the developed than the Haryana. Or among them, over the past decade or so, health and education indicators have come to be widely used along with income as a measure of development. So along with income also we have to calculate, plus education and health. For instance, Human Development Report published by UNDP. Here UNDP full form is United Nations Development Program. Here they given their United Nations Development Program. UNDP means United Nations Development Program. Compares countries based on the educational levels of the people, their health status and per capita income. So according to UNDP, it compares the countries based on educational levels, health status and per capita income. It would be interesting to look at certain relevant data regarding India and its neighbors from Human Development Report according to 2018. Here that data is given here in table 1.6, some data regarding India and its neighbors for 2017, but the report released in 2018. Certain countries are given here, almost 6 countries. So here gross national income, that is per capita income given here. Here life expectancy at birth, then mean years of schooling of people aged 25 and above. So age, that means completely higher studies, those who are continuing their schooling or higher studies, that is aged age 25 and above. HDI, that is Human Development Index. The full form of HDI means Human Development Index, rank in the world according to 2018. Some notes are given here. We learn this and then we have to check this table. HDI stands for Human Development Index. HDI ranks in above table are out of 189 countries, total out of 189 countries in all. Next one, life expectancy at birth denotes, that means as the name suggests, average expected length of life. So expectations, how long the person will live, that is the length of life of a person at the time of birth, from the birth, at the time of birth. Next one, per capita income is calculated in dollars for all countries so that it can be compared, because this dollars money is universally accepted by all the countries, because each and every country has the different measurement of that money, value of the money. While we are comparing internationally, it's not we are getting the correct measure or correct conclusions. That's what we accepted the US dollar for all the countries to compare each other. It is also done in a way so that every dollar would buy the same amount of goods and services in any country. So in international market we have to buy with the use of dollars, that means same amount of the goods and services in that international market. That's what we have taken the dollars to consider into that per capita income. So that's what here they given that per capita income in the dollars. First one, Sri Lanka, you have to check it out here. Then life expectancy they given here in tabular column. And next one is schooling of people aged 25 and above. Then HDI ranking in that out of 189 countries, in what place we are secured that one. First one is Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka only achieved, that means developed than the other 5 countries. So India comes in the second level. So you check it out, Nepal and Bangladesh here. So even though their per capita income is very low than the other countries, but their life expectancy is more than the other 3 countries, even than the India. So this is the table. Is it surprising that a small country in our neighborhood, that is Sri Lanka, is much ahead of India in every respect, and a big country like us has such a low rank in the world. So table 1.6 also shows that though Nepal and Bangladesh have low per capita income than that of India, yet they are better than India in life expectancy. So many improvements have been suggested in calculating HDI, and many new components have been added to the Human Development Report, but by prefixing human to development, it has made it very clear that what is important in development. So according to HDI, this is very clearly they noted that one which is very most important for the development. Then what is happening to citizens of a country. So it is people, their health, their well-being, that is most important. Do you think there are certain other aspects that should be considered in measuring human development? Next video we learn about the sustainability of development. Until then, thank you.